Hi, how are you, my loves? It's Aatika, and I am so excited to be here with you. For a long time, you've been asking for a full, in-depth tutorial on how to create these beautiful beaded bags. I promised that once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I would deliver, and guess what? We did it! I'm thrilled to share this complete step-by-step guide with you today. This is a special moment for our community, and I can't wait to start this creative journey together. Before we begin, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe by clicking that red button below. And to all my amazing supporters who helped me reach this goal, thank you so much. You can also find me on all my social media platforms. If you create a bag using this tutorial, don't forget to tag me with the hashtag #AatikaAprendiComVoce. I'd love to see your work. Now, let's get started on making something truly beautiful. I'm going to teach you how to create this stunning big bag. For this model, I'm going to use 8mm pearls. I'm also going to use scissors and 50mm nylon. I cut a piece of nylon. I received several comments asking about the measurement of my nylon. I always cut a large piece of nylon because I don't like many splices, so it's always around 1.5 to 2 meters of nylon. Here I cut a small piece because I'm just going to demonstrate how to make the blanket for you. So here, on either side of the threads, I'm going to put 3 pearls. I'm going to put 2 and 3 here on my left thread. Now I'm going to use one more and cross my left thread. It goes through the pearl and comes to the right side. My right thread goes through the pearl and comes to my left side. I'm going to join the 2 ends here and pull my thread to the end. Here at the end, this little flower will form. This little flower is the base of our bed. Notice that to make it, we need 4 pearls. From now on, we're going to count this pearl that the nylon is coming out of. So here we already have 1 pearl, and we'll need 3 to make the next little flower. So on my left thread, I put 1 pearl. On my right thread, I also put 1 pearl, and I'm going to use the 3rd pearl to cross. The left thread goes to the right side, the right thread goes to the left side. I join the ends, pull to the end, and here another little flower forms. I'm going to repeat the process. We need 4 pearls. Here we already have 1, which is the one our nylon is coming out of. I come to the end of my nylon and put 1 pearl on my left thread, 1 pearl on my right thread, and I use 1 more pearl to cross my threads. I pull. When I pull here at the end, another little flower forms. I'm going to repeat this process one more time. I come to the end of my threads, put 1 pearl on my left thread, 1 pearl on my right thread, and use 1 more pearl to cross the threads. I pull and another little flower forms. Let's suppose that my weave ended here and I want to turn. Doubts arose at this point. So what happens here is I already have a pearl that my nylon is coming out of. Since I want to turn here to my left side, I want to bring the weave back over here to make a blanket, so I'm going to take my right thread. Pay attention, I want to turn to the left side, so on my right thread, the opposite thread, I'm going to put 2 pearls. So here's 1, 2. Now we have 3 pearls, 1 here that my thread is crossing. We have 2 on my right thread, and the last pearl I'm going to my left thread passes to the right, and my right thread passes to the left. I'm going to pull. When I pull, my nylons will go up. They'll come to the pearl here above. We were coming in this direction. They're now here above. So another observation to be made is now I need to keep turning my weave so that I can fill this part here above. So still on my right thread, since I want to turn to the left, I'm going to put 2 more pearls here. I already have one. I'm going to put 2 pearls on my right thread, and there are 3 pearls for my little flower. Since I need 4, I'm going to cross the 4th. The left thread goes to the right thread passes to the left, and I'm going to pull. When I pull, the direction of my nylon changes again, and it now came to the side, which is where I want it, and I'm going to start filling my blanket here on my left side. So with my thread that's here below, which is the left side, I'm going to take it and pass it through this first one. I take the side, I'm going to pass it here, from one side to the other, and I'm going to pull. And when I pull, it will look like this. And my right thread is coming out here above this pearl in this little flower, and my left thread is coming out of this pearl here below. So on my right thread, I'm going to put 1 pearl. It's because if I pull here to close my little flower, see that there's nothing on my right thread. So I put 1 pearl, or if it's to fill this space, no, I'm closing. I already have 1 pearl on this side, and I'm going to put 1 more to cross. I pass my thread from one side to the other and pull. When I pull here, another little flower forms, see? So what I do is I like to turn my weave. I turn it so that these pearls here that I'm going to fill are on my right side, because I think I do it faster. So I'm going to turn it, and now my nylon that was below here, that was on the left side, came to the right side. So what happens is I need to keep coming with my weave. So my thread is coming out of this pearl. I'm going to pass it through this side pearl, see? I pass my thread from one side to the other, only through it. So it will look like this. Here above, now on my left thread, the pearl is missing, see? If I pull it, it's empty. So it's on it that I'm going to put 1 pearl on my left thread, and I'm going to use 1 more to cross to form the 4 pearls I need. I'm going to pull, and it will look like this. I've already made another side. So now my right thread passes through this first pearl here next to the weave we already made. So I pass it through it. On my left thread, I put 1 pearl, and I'm going to put 1 more to cross. I cross the threads from one side to the other and pull. When I get to the last little flower to fill, I'm going to do the same process. The bottom thread passes through this side pearl, this one, but now I'm going to change. I'm no longer going to put the pearl on my left thread. I'm going to put it on the right thread because I want to turn my bed. So I want to go up with my nylon. So the side that will be empty will be the right side. So on my right side, I'm going to put 1 pearl, and I'm going to use the next one to cross. I'm going to pull. With this, my nylon turns and is now coming out of the pearl here above. Since I want to make my flame go to the left side to fill these pearls, so on my right side, I put 2 pearls, 1. I'm going to get 2 here, and then you ask me, why 2? Because we need 4 pearls to make each little flower, and here we only have 1, which is where the nylon is coming out of. So on my right side, I add 2 more, and I'm going to put 1 more pearl to cross. Then you'll see that my weave will change sides. I'm going to pull. When I pull, my nylon comes to the side I want, which is the side this weave already is on. See? Here I like to turn it and keep the bottom nylon always on my right side, because I can pass it through these side pearls faster, and I'm going to pass my thread here through the side pearl. So now my left side is empty. Look. So it's on it that I'm going to put 1 pearl, and I'm going to use another to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. I come to the side purl again. I pass my right thread through it, and my left thread receives one purl and receives the other to cross. So I cross my threads and pull. See, it will look like this. Now I'm going to suppose that my nylon is running out and I'm going to finish. So I'm going to show you how to finish. My nylon is coming out of this purl here in front. I'm going to pass my right side through this purl here below, because I'll need to join my threads to make this knot, and the top thread passes through the top purl and through this side purl here in the middle. So I join point to point, and I like to make this knot always here in the middle of our weave. Why? Because these outer purls we're still going to use. So whenever you're going to tie off, choose the beads here inside. So here I'm going to make 3 knots. I'm going to make the first one, and I'm going to pull hard to tighten my bed. I tightened it. Now I'm going to make 2 more simple knots. So 1, 2, in this case, it's already the third. So here I have 3 knots. See that it's right here on the side. I'm going to take my thread, pass it through the purl, and I'm going to pull so that this knot goes in and hides inside it. So pay attention to the knot right here on the side. I'm going to pull, and it went in and hid inside the purl. And now to finish. I like to take my thread and pass it through this side purl and through the bottom purl, which is to make this knot very firm and not come undone. I do the same process with my thread on the other side. Side purl and thread and bottom purl, and now I pull to tighten it well. And I cut the excess of the nylon on both sides, and our weave will look like this. To continue with my weave, I've already cut a piece of nylon, and I'm going to use these 2 purls here on the side. These that are making a little machine very close to each other. I'm going to take my thread, pass it through this purl here below, from right to left, and I'm going to pass the same tip from bottom to top through this side purl. I'm going to pull, and I'm going to come to the end of my threads. Here at the end, see that the process will repeat itself. Here on my left side, there's no material, so it's on it that I'm going to put 1 purl. So purl on the left side, and I'm going to take 1 more to cross my thread from one side to the other. I join the ends so that the end of my thread is even, and I pull to the end. Here at the end, another little flower formed. My thread that's here below passes through the side purl, and it will look like this. Now I need to change the direction of my nylon. I need it to come up here. I already have 2 purls, and I need 4 to form the little flower. So on my right thread, which is the side that has nothing, see? I'm going to put 1 purl on the right thread, and I'm going to use 1 more to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. When I pull, my weave turns and my nylon is here above. So on my right thread, since I want to turn to the left, I'm going to put 2 purls. But why 2 purls? Because we need 4 purls for each little flower. And here we have 3, 1 that's already attached and 2 that I put on the right thread. Now the next one, I'm going to cross the 4th purl. I pull, and here, another little flower forms. At this point, I like to turn my weave to my right side to be here next to the weave I already made, and here I'm going to continue repeating the process. I pass my thread here through this first side purl. I pull. I put here on my left thread, which is the thread that has nothing. I put one pearl and I use one more to cross. I'm going to pull and it will look like this. The process is this. It's all done in repetitions. My right thread passes through the side pearl here, and I fill my left thread with one pearl and cross one more. The side of my bag has 18 little flowers in width, 11 little flowers in height, and I repeated this same process twice. I attached both sides of my bag in a box here, one intertwined with nylon to hold it on one side and the other. I'm going to position it here. Find a corner that's better for you. And to close the bag, I'm going to start by observing all these pearls that are here on the side, because we're going to work with them now. So I'm going to start by taking a piece of nylon and passing it here through my first side pearl. I pass it from one side to the other here. I'm going to pull my nylon to make each little flower. 4 pearls are needed, so here I already have one. I'm going to take a pearl. I'm going to pass it through my left thread. I'm going to take a pearl. I'm going to pass it through my right thread, and I'm going to take one more pearl to cross my left thread. It passes through the pearl to the right side. My right thread passes through the pearl to my left side. With this, I'm going to cross the pearl. I'm going to join those ends and pull the end. I pull, and here, I form the first little flower. I'm going to repeat this same process. I'm going to come to the end of my nylon here. I'm going to put one pearl on my left thread. I'm going to put one pearl on my right thread, and I'm going to take one more to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. When I pull, another little flower forms. Here we have 2 little flowers. To make the side of the bag, I'm going to use 3 little flowers. So now on the last one, I'm going to need to join it with this side here above. So since I need 4 pearls, here I already have one. On my right thread, I'm going to put one more. I pass the thread here from one side to the other, and I'm going to come to this first pearl of the side. I'm going to pass my right thread from right to left. I'm going to pull, and here, it will look like this. It's 1, 2, and here on the third little flower, 1 pearl is missing here on the side. 1, 2, 3 pearls. So 1 is missing to close. I'm going to take a pearl and I'm going to cross here on my threads. The right one passes to the left one passes to the right, and I pull. When I pull, we closed and formed another little flower. So here's our side. It has 3 flowers. 1, 2, 3. See that the nylon is coming out of this pearl. I'm going to need to join. We're going to start joining the weaves. So my thread that's here above, I'm going to pass it through this second pearl here of the blanket, which is to start joining. So I pass it here from right to left. I pull. With this, my thread now has 2 pearls. 1, 2. So I'm going to come here to my left thread. I'm going to put 1 pearl, and I put 1 pearl on the left thread, and I'm going to take 1 more to cross. So I cross my thread here and pull. And when I pull, another little flower forms. Let me tighten my side. It will look like this. Now I'm going to take this right thread and I'm going to pass it through this pearl. Remember I said we have to keep joining the weaves? So my thread is coming out of this pearl. My thread here on the right is very close to this side pearl here of the second little flower. So I'm going to pass my thread here through it from top to bottom. I'm going to pull. With this, my little flower has 2 pearls. 1, 2, and I need 4. See that if I go down my left thread, there's nothing. So I'm going to need to put 1 pearl on it, 1 pearl on the left thread, and I'm going to use 1 more pearl to cross. So I cross the threads and pull, and when I pull, another little flower forms. Now I'm going to need to join all these weaves, this side weave with this weave here below. So with my right thread, I'm going to pass it through this little side pearl. See that it's coming out of this one. I'm going to go down here to the side pearl. I'm going to pull, and I'm already going to go back through this second pearl here of the blanket that's here below. So I pass my nylon here from one side to the other. I pull. With this, my little flower now has 3 pearls, 1, 2, 3. The fourth one, which is to close, which is the side I'm going to cross. So I take a pearl and cross my threads. I'm going to pull. When I pull, the third side little flower forms, and I'm going to tighten it well. Done. Now my nylon is coming out of this pearl here on the side, right here, and I'm going to pass it through this third pearl here of the blanket from below. So I pass it from right to left. I'm going to pull, and with this, my little flower has 2 pearls. 1, 2. I'm going to need 1 pearl here on my left thread, which is the one that's here below. So I'm going to put 1 pearl on it, and I'm going to cross 1 more. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull, and with this, another little flower forms. My nylon is coming out of this middle pearl. See that this side pearl is very close to the thread. If you pull, the thread itself indicates which pearl you're going to pass through to join our weave. So I'm going to pass it here through this side pearl, thread from bottom to top. I'm going to pull. With this, my little flower has 2 pearls. My left thread, if I go up with it, it has nothing, so it needs 1 pearl. So I'm going to put 1 pearl on the left thread, and I'm going to take 1 more pearl to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. I made another little flower. Now I'm going to need to join all these pearls here. See that my thread is coming out of this pearl right here. I'm going to need to pass my right thread, so through this side pearl, and I'm also going to pass it through this pearl here in front, which is the third pearl of our little blanket, and I'm going to pull. I pull. With this, my little flower has 3 pearls. 1, 2, 3. The fourth one, I'm going to need to cross here to close the side. See? I'm going to take a pearl and cross my threads. I pass it from one side to the other and pull. When I pull, I've already closed another little flower. I'm going to come with my thread that's right here above. It came out here above. Remember, we have to keep joining the weaves? So I'm going to pass it through the fourth pearl of my little blanket. I'm going to pass it here from one side to the other, and I'm going to pull. And now my little flower has 2 pearls, 1, 2. Here on my left thread, I'm going to need to put 1 pearl to close the little flower on this side. So I put 1 pearl on the left thread and the other one. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. Take my right thread, which is coming out of this pearl here in the middle, and I'm going to pass it through this side pearl to join the weave. With this, my little flower has 2 pearls. I'm going to take my left thread. I'm going to put 1 pearl and I'm going to cross 1 more. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. When I pull, I've already formed the second little flower. Now I'm going to join my weave. I need 4 pearls for each little flower. Here I have one, which is where my thread is coming out. I'm going to pass my right thread through this side pearl from top to bottom. I'm going to pull, and I'm also going to pass it through this 4th pearl of the weave here below. I pass it from one side to the other, pull. When I pull, the little flower has 3 pearls. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need one to close this side, so I'm going to take a pearl and I'm going to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull, and when I pull, I already formed the 3rd little flower. I'm going to continue joining the weave. My nylon is coming out of this side pearl. I'm going to take the nylon here below and pass it through this 5th pearl of my weave. I pass it here below. Look, I pull, and then I'm going to need a pearl here on my left thread, which is the bottom thread, and I'm to put one more to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. And with that, another little flower is formed. My nylon is coming out of this middle pearl. I'm going to come here to the side pearl and I'm going to pass the nylon from bottom to top, only through it. Now my little flower only has 2 pearls. I'm going to come to my left thread that has nothing. I'm going to put 1 pearl and I'm going to put 1 more to cross. I pulled. It will look like this. I've already formed another pearl. I'm going to come here above. Look, my nylon is coming out of this pearl here in the middle. I'm going to come here to the side pearl. I'm going to pass it from bottom to top, and I'm also going to pass it through this pearl here above my bed to join and close. I'm going to pull, and now I'm going to cross just 1 more pearl to cross. I pass my thread from one side to the other and pull. When I pull, another little flower is formed here on the side. I'm going to continue repeating this process and I'll be back to finish with you. I've been repeating the process. I arrived here at the corner of my bag and I came back to show you. So here, when you reach the tip of the bag, at the corner, the process is the same. See that my nylon is coming out of this pearl, which is the last pearl here on the side. Are you seeing it? My nylon is coming out right here inside this pearl. My top thread makes the same path. It passes through the closest pearl, which is this first pearl here from the bottom part of our blanket. So my top thread here passes through it. I pull. With this I will have the pearls. Are you seeing it? For my little flower, 1, 2. I'm going to come to my left thread. I'm going to put 1 pearl and I'm going to put 1 more to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. When I pull, I form my first little flower here below the bag. See that my pearl is coming out. Leonardo is coming out of the pearl below here in my little flower. Are you seeing it? I'm going to take my right thread and I'm going to pass it through this side pearl, the middle pearl. I pass it from top to bottom and I'm going to pull. And now my little flower has 2 pearls. 1, 2. On my left thread, I'm going to put 1 and I'm going to take 1 more to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and I'm going to pull. I'm going to just pull here for you to see better. With this, I already have 2 little flowers on the bottom part. It's here, look. 2 little flowers, 1, 2. My thread that is here on my right will pass through this side pearl to close the weave, and it will also pass through this first pearl here from the bottom part of our weave. So I'm going to pass it here. Look through this first pearl. I'm going to pull. With this, my little flower will now have 3 pearls. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take a pearl and I'm going to cross. I'm going to pass my thread here from one side to the other and I'm going to pull. When I pull, I close here below with the 3 little flowers. 1, 2, 3. My nylon is coming out of this pearl here in the middle. I'm going to take the nylon that is here on my right thread and I'm going to pass it here. Look through the second pearl from the bottom part of my blanket. So I pass it here through the second pearl, I pull. Here on this thread of mine that is here below, I'm going to put 1 pearl and I'm going to use 1 more to cross. I pass my thread here, I come with the other and cross. I'm going to pull and I already have another little flower. With this, I made my first little flower here on the second round. See that my nylon is coming out from inside this pearl here above. I'm going to take my nylon that is here in my right hand and I'm going to pass it through this side pearl. I'm going to pass it here, look from one side to the other to join, uniting our weave. Here I'm going to put 1 pearl on my left thread and I'm going to use 1 more to cross. I pass my thread from one side to the other and cross from right to left. I'm going to pull, and with that, I form my second little flower. Now for the third little flower, I'm going to need to take my thread that is here on my right, pass it through this side pearl and pass it through the second pearl of the blanket that is here on the side. So I'm going to pass it here from one side to the other, only through it. I'm going to pull. With this, my little flower now has 3 pearls. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need a pearl to cross and close here on the side. So I'm going to take a pearl, I'm going to put it here on my left thread and I'm going to cross with my right thread. I'm going to pull. With this I close, giving another turn here on the bottom part of my bag. It's looking like this, look. I'm going to continue repeating the process and I'll be back to finish with you. And now I'm going to do this finish on the side of the bag, so it becomes firmer. This part that is open, it's softer. So I'm going to do this same process here on the other side. I'm going to arrange my bag here so that I can clearly see which are the 3 rows on the side. They are here on the side of the bag, 1, 2, 3. So these are these 3 pearls here from the top. So I'm going to come here to the middle pearl, here in the middle here on the side, which is this one, and I'm going to count 3 little flowers from top to bottom, so 1, 2, 3. And on the bottom pearl of the third little flower, I'm going to pass my nylon through the one that's before my chosen one and the one after. So I'm going to come here, look, pass through 3 pearls. And then 1, 2, and 3. Did you understand? I chose the little flower here in the middle of the middle pearl. I counted 3 little flowers going down. 1, 2, 3. And on the bottom pearl of the little flower I passed the nylon, but I passed it, look, on the pearl before, on the middle pearl, and on the pearl after. So my nylon is like this, passing through 3 pearls. Now I'm going to take a pearl and I'm going to cross my thread. I pass the thread from left to right and the thread from right to left. I'm going to join the ends and I'm going to pull here to the end. I'm going to lift my bag. When I pull, I'm going to pull until this side of my bag gathers. I pulled and it gathered. Are you seeing it? Look. I'm going to open it. When I pull, it closes. Now I'm going to take my thread that's here on my right and I'm going to pass it through. See that my thread is coming out of this pearl right here in the middle. Are you seeing it? When I pull, my right nylon gets very close to this pearl that is here on the side, going up. So I'm going to pass my thread through it in here, and I'm going to do this same process with my left thread. See that my nylon is coming out through this pearl here in the middle, and I'm going to pass my thread through this side pearl. I'm going to take my thread, the end, and I'm going to pass it from bottom to top through the side pearl here. I'm going to pull everything in close for you to see now. Now my little flower has 3 pearls. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take a pearl and I'm going to cross my thread. I pass the thread from one side to the other and I'm going to pull. Yes, now my little flower has the 4 pearls here. See that the little circle, are you seeing it? When I pull, this little flower will join. I pulled and it closed completely. My little flower is already formed here in the middle. I'm going to loosen it. I'm going to tighten it for you to see. Now I'm going to repeat the same process. My right nylon will pass through this side pearl. See that my nylon is coming out. Look, of this pearl here in the middle. I'm going to pass my thread through the side pearl. I'm going to do the same thing with the left thread. I'm going to pass it here through the side pearl. I'm going to pull, and now I take a pearl and cross to complete my little flower. So I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. Here I'm going to make my second little flower. I'm going to pull. I've already closed my bag and I'm going to repeat the process. I pass it through the side pearl. Same thing with the left thread. I pass it through the side pearl. Look, and I'm going to use one more to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. With this, yes, I've already closed the side of my bag. Now I'm going to make a little flower here upwards to serve to hold the handle. So I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to put 1 pearl on my left thread. I'm going to put 1 pearl on my right thread and I'm going to cross 1 more. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. When I pull, I form a little flower here on top. To make it firm, I'm going to return my nylon through this little flower and I'm going to fasten it to these pearls here below. So I'm going to take my nylon, I'm going to pass it through this side little flower. This pearl, I'm going to pull and I'm also going to pass it through this pearl here below. I pass it from one side to the other. I'll do the same process with my left thread. I'm going to pass it through this side pearl and I'm going to pass it through the pearl here below and I'm going to pull to firm it well. Only then will this little handle for holding the larger handle be very firm. So now I'm going to use these pearls here from the back to tie a knot in my nylon. So it's already coming out right here from this little flower that is loose. I'm going to pass my right thread through this side pearl. Look, and I'm going to pass it through this back pearl. And my left thread I'm going to pass it through this side pearl. And now my threads met here behind. Look at my threads together here. Here I'm going to tie 2 to 3 knots and tighten them well to firm this little handle. 2. I'm going to tie the third, 3. Look, the little knot will be right here on the side. Now I'm going to take my nylon and I'm going to pass it through the pearl. Here, I'm going to pull my nylon so that my little knot that's here outside hides inside the pearl. I pulled, the little knot hid. I take my thread, pass it through the pearl again. the pearl here on the side, which is to be able to cut the end. I'm going to pass it through this one too. Oh, and this one on the right side, I'm going to pass it through this bottom pearl, and it's always good to pass the thread through more pearls to be able to cut. Now I come and cut the excess of the nylon. I cut one side and I cut the other. With this detail here on the side, the structure of our bag becomes very firm. Look how beautiful. And for the handle, I made a blanket that has 3 little flowers in width and 30 little flowers in height. It will look like this. Look, a little blanket, a strip of blanket. So now I'm going to take a piece of nylon, and I'm always going to observe my side pearls because I'm going to work with them now. So the first step, I'm going to pass my right thread through this first pearl on the right side here, the first side pearl. I pass my thread through it. Now I'm going to put a pearl on my left thread. I'm going to put a pearl, and I'm going to come here to my first pearl on the left, and I'm going to pass my thread from bottom to top through it only. I'm going to join the ends here, and I'm going to pull. And then it will look like this. Look. At first the pearl will be here below. You won't understand much, but when we start to pull, you'll understand. So there's a pearl right here in the middle. My left thread is coming out right here on the first pearl of my left side, and my right thread is coming out right here on the first pearl of my right side. Now I'm going to take a pearl and I'm going to cross the threads. I pass the thread from one side to the other. Now when I pull, you'll start to understand. I'm going to pull. When I pull, this little strip of my blanket will start to close. Look, we formed our first little flower here. So I'm going to take my right thread, if I come to the end, and I'm going to pass it through the pearl of my blanket, the side pearl. See that my threads are coming out of the pearl here in the middle. So I'm going to take my right thread, I'm going to pass it through this second side pearl. I'm going to pull, and I'm going to take my left thread, and I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to pass it here through this second pearl of my blanket. At the beginning it stays like this, it unravels, but when we pull it, it will join again. So I'm going to close here for you to see. My little flower now has 3 pearls, 1, 2, 3, and I need 4. The fourth one I'm going to cross, which is to be able to join and close here in the middle. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. When I pull, look, it closes again, another little flower closes. The process, the right thread passes through the side pearl here of my blanket, in this case. It's the third side pearl. I pass it through it. My left thread passes through the third side pearl here on the left side. I'm going to pull in the fourth pearl of the little flower we cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. When I pull, it already closes and forms another little flower here on the side. I'm repeating the process. The right thread passes through the pearl on the right side. I'm going to pull. The left thread passes through the left pearl, the left side pearl. And I'm going to pull. And now I take one more pearl and cross my threads. I'm going to pull. When I pull, another little flower is formed here on top and closes our blanket. I'm going to repeat this process more one time. my threads are coming out of the purl here in the middle. My right thread passes through the side purl. I pull and my left thread passes through the side purl on the left side. I'm going to pull. Our little flower has 3 pearls. 1, 2, 3. The 4th one. We cross the threads. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. When I pull, our blanket closes. I'm going to continue repeating the process and I'll be back to finish with you. I repeated the whole process and my handle ended up like this. Look, a hard tube. Now I'm going to need to join one end to the other so that my handle becomes round, like this. So I'm going to come here to the top. See that my nylon is coming out of this first purl. It's crossing this first purl. I'm going to come to my right thread and I'm going to put 1 purl. Now, I'm going to turn my little tube here downwards because I want this closure to be on the outside of my circle when I turn it, which makes it easier. So I turned it, I put my blanket down. I'm going to come here, look to the other end of my handle and I'm going to use this first purl here from the top. I'm going to take my right thread and I'm going to pass it through this first purl from right to left. Look, only through this purl here from the top. I'm going to pull. When I pull, my handle already closes. It closes, but here on top, 1 purl is missing to close my little flower because I have 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to come here to my thread and I'm going to put a purl to cross. I cross the thread from one side to the other and now when I pull, my little flower will close. I pulled and my handle closed. Look, are you seeing it? Now I'm going to come here to the side, which is to make a little flower here on the side. So look, my nylon is coming out of this purl here in the middle, right here in the middle. I'm going to take my right thread and I'm going to pass it through this first purl here on the side. Look, I pass my thread from one side to the other. I'll do the same thing here on the other side. I take my purl, my thread passes through this first purl here from the top. I pull, my little flower will have 3 pearls, 1 on the side, 1 here in the middle and 1 here on the other side. So I'm going to take a purl and I'm going to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. I close my handle here on the side. Now I'm going to close my handle here at the back. So see that my thread is coming out of this purl here in the middle, right here in the middle. I'm going to pass it through this side purl, this first purl. My thread is coming out right here. I'm going to pass it through this side purl in the first one. I'm going to pull and I'm going to do the same process on this other side. I'm going to pass my nylon here through the purl on the side. I'm going to pull. Here I'm going to put a purl to cross because I need 4 pearls in the little flower. So I'm going to cross this last one and I'm going to pull. With this process, we closed our handle. This process consists of making 4 little flowers, 1 on each side. So I was turning, making the little flowers around my handle, and arriving here at the end, I can finish. So I'm going to take my thread through this side purl. I'm going to meet one end with the other and I'm going to pass it through this purl here on top. And I take the scissors to get my nylon out here and I'm going to pass it here on the side. I arrived with one end next to the other here. Here I'm going to tie 3 knots. 1, I tighten well. 1, 2, and 3. So my little knot is here outside. I'm going to take my nylon end. I'm going to pass it through the pearl. Let me adjust here, pass it through the pearl. I passed and I'm going to pull for this little knot to hide inside the pearl. The little knot is here outside. I'm going to pull. And it went in and hid inside the pearl. I'm going to pass my nylon again through the side pearl. After I make a knot, I like to pass my nylon through at least 2 pearls to fasten the end. So I passed it here on one side and I'm going to pass it on the other. I passed it here and I'm going to pass it in the middle, and that's it. Now I can cut the excess nylon. I cut one side and I cut the other, and our handle ended up like this. Oh, I'm back to put my handle together with you. First thing, I'm going to put my handle right here in the middle of my bag. And I'm going to observe here on the side that I'm going to leave 2 little flowers free. So 1, 2, and here on the third my handle will pass over it. Same process here on the other side. 1, 2 little flowers free, and see that the third handle is already covering a little bit of it. I'm going to come here to the middle and I'm going to count 4 little flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I'm on the 4th little flower. Now from this 4th little flower, I'm going to count 5 little flowers down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here on the 5th and on the bottom pearl, I'm going to pass my thread from one side to the other. I'm going to take a pair of scissors here and I'm going to lift my thread in here. It will look like this. My thread is coming out of this pearl. Now I'm going to start making the fish, making the little flowers to fasten this handle of ours. So I'm going to put 1 pearl on my left thread, 1 pearl on my right thread. I'm going to make little flowers. So here I have 3 pearls, 1 on each thread and 1 here in the middle, and I'm going to take 1 more pearl to cross. I'm going to join the ends and I'm going to pull this pearl all the way to the end. Here I made the first little flower. I'm going to make the second. Put 1 pearl on the left thread, 1 pearl on the right thread, and I'm going to use 1 more to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other. 2 little flowers, we're going to need 6. So I'm going to repeat 1 more time. Pearls on the left thread, pearls on the right thread, and I take 1 more to cross. I pull 1 more time. Pearl on the right thread, pearl on the left thread, and 1 more to cross. I pull for the 5th one. For 1 on the left thread, pearls on the right thread, and 1 more pearl to cross. 5. Now the 6th, I'm going to put 1 pearl on my left thread, 1 pearl on my right thread, and the 4th pearl for our little flower. I'm going to use from the blanket that is already here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little handle that I made here and I'm going to wrap this handle of mine, look, which is to fasten it. So when I wrap it, I'm going to come here to the other side and I'm going to pass it through this pearl here. Look, are you seeing it right here on top, which is to fasten it? So I'm going to take my right thread and I'm going to pass it through this pearl from one side to the other, and when I pull, it will form a loop that will fasten my handle in place. Here, look, I can already tie a knot. I'm going to tie a knot here to fasten it well. Look, are you seeing that it fastened my handle in place? And here I'm going to tie 3 knots to finish. I've already tied 1, 2, and I tighten these knots well. 2 and 3. I'm going to pass my nylon through the pearls and I'm going to cut the excess. It fastens my handle here in the middle, and I'm going to repeat the same process here on the side. The pearl I'm going to use will be the side pearl of the second little flower, 1, 2. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to start here inside and finish here outside for you to see the finish. So, on the pearl that is standing, right here inside the handle, I'm going to pass my thread from top to bottom, and here on the first row, I'm going to put it aside and I'm going to do the little flower process, which is one thread on the left, one pearl on the left thread, one pearl on the right thread, and I'm going to cross one pearl. I'm going to join the ends and I'm going to pull all the way to the end and form my first little flower. It's here, look, the first little flower. So I'm going to repeat the process. Pearl on my left thread, pearl on my right thread, and one pearl to cross. I pass the thread from one side to the other and pull. Second little flower made. I'm going to continue repeating this process and I'll be back. I repeated this process 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little flowers, and now on the 6th. I'm going to put one pearl on my left thread and one pearl on my right thread. It will look like this. I'm going to come here to the side of my bag. I'm going to count 2 little flowers, 1, 2. Here on the second one, I'm going to pass my right thread from top to bottom through this side pearl, from top to bottom. I'm going to take the scissors here and I'm going to pull my nylon here upwards, the end of it. I pulled. It's here, look. When I pull my nylon, this little handle will fasten my handle in place. Are you seeing it? And here I can tie a knot to finish. So I'm going to tie 3 knots here. I'm going to tie the first one. I'm going to tie it very tight. Look, are you seeing that everything joins? So, I'm going to tie it very tight. I'm going to tie 3 knots. 1, 2, and 3. Now I hide my little knot inside the pearl and I pass my nylon through 3, 4 pearls and cut the excess. I'm going to repeat this. Same process here on the other side. This model ended up like this. I found this handle charming. This side too, this detail here on the side. Now let's make the longer handle to make the removable handle. I'm going to need 2 hooks like this. I didn't even have matching ones. But it will work perfectly here, they are similar. And I cut a piece of nylon 2 meters long. I'm going to take one of the clasps. I'm going to pass the nylon through the loop. Now I'm going to join the 2 ends of my thread and I'm going to start passing my pearls. I pass the pearls with double nylon thread, look, and I'm going to repeat this process until the end, until the handle is the size I want. I join the nylon end, pass the pearl, and it will look like this. I'm going to continue repeating this process and I'll be back to finish with you. I repeated the whole process. I arrived at the end and here I'm going to open my threads. I'm going to take my clasp and I'm going to pass it through one of the ends. Now I'm going to tie 3 knots. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to take the end of my nylon and I'm going to pass it through the pearl. Let me adjust here, pass it through. I'm going to take the other end too. I'm going to pass it through this last pearl here. Now I'm going to pull the end of the nylon and the little knot hid inside the pearl. Are you seeing it? I'm going to pass the nylon through this second pearl and this one too, and I'm going to hide my nylon. I'm going to pass it through the third one because then it becomes very firm. I pass one end, then I pass the other. And I'm going to cut the excess nylon and it will look like this. Look, the little knot hid inside the pearl. Now we have the option of using the bag with this smaller strap, this round one. I've already put the Aatika Leap label here, and here on the side where we left this little strap, we can put our removable strap. I've already attached the strap on one side. Now I just need to come to the other hook and attach the other end of the strap, and it will look like this. A long strap and a short strap. And I really hope you liked it. Kisses, and see you in the next video.